My goal was to use Chromebooks to assist me in my science classes. With the new science standards, it's been hard to find resources. And I was glad I came today because the lady from Johnson County threw up a website a while ago with some resources on it for the through-course task. I got my Chromebooks a month ago. So I've been trying to learn how to use them and figure out something that I could do with them before the end of the school year. So what we did at my school is my principal released me to do a training for a through-course task for each grade level. And in the course of that training, I decided to use my Chromebooks to assist me in teaching the vocabulary for the through-course task, which if you've been to the SharePoint app, it suggests certain things that your children have to know and learn to be successful on the task. So I decided to use my Chromebooks to assist in teaching that vocabulary and also creating a writing piece, which I have to have at the end of the year to be scored. So we decided to go cross-curricular, and students were allowed to choose an animal that they wanted to research with the through-course task vocabulary as part of the research. They had to go in and research gestation periods, lifespans, physical traits, things like that would help them later on. So they have been working the past 2 weeks on gathering research. You can go ahead, and I've got some pictures, I'm sorry, and you can go through there. They've been working on getting the research, and look at this picture right here. She must have found out something really interesting because her face is just tells it all. But they've been taking notes, and they're gathering their information. You can go on, and they're every day we share out. They either do a think, pair, share with their partner, or they share out whole group in front of the class on something they've learned that day. And I try to break it down. One day we'll look for physical traits. The next day we'll look for gestation periods. The next day we have looked for any interesting facts, anything weird or gross they love. And they share that out. And you can turn it. And they're just learning how to use their Chromebooks there. You can turn it again. And then they have a final product written, handwritten, old school, written out like that, and they'll type it so that it can be scored for their portfolio at the end of the year. But that's boring, I think. So what we're going to do is we're going to take those facts that last week of school when you're trying to keep them busy and they're going crazy and you're running out of ideas. So we're going to take our Chromebooks and we're going to use Google Slide to create a visual report of their written report and present it to their classmates. And that's, go ahead, I think I've got one more. And then next year when I've got my Chromebooks all year and I've figured out how to use them, these are some sites that I use. And I will mention that I do have a child in my room who is handicapped. He cannot grip a pencil, but he can use the Chromebook, so we can differentiate his instruction that way. He can peck out things that he can't write down with a pencil and paper, so that's good. But my son lives in Africa, and he has 2 children in school, and one of my teammates tells me there's not Skype on Google Chrome, but there's Google Hangout. I'm learning. And we're going to try to create some kind of pen pal with my grandson's schools in Ghana and my class here in Kentucky. Yeah, so we're going to try that. And that's basically it. Any questions? Thank you.